You are watching Liberty Online TV.
And this show is powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Me they bring to you this edition of the program like always. My name is Mohamed Kamara, and of course today we get a lot more for discuss inside the program as we can cross-examine the activities that will happen within the sporting arena. We can look at the development and the impact so far we happen the whole of 2025 na Sierra Leone in terms of sport development and plenty other things then we get to do with sports. And when we say sports, we not only the limit to football, but cut across all sporting disciplines. And don't forget, say yourself with the watch week, you join the conversation by we go drop with comments on 074-200-545 and also send on any of the platform them where you watch we from. And of course, inside the studio today, like I tell you, we get plenty things for discuss. And I also get to representative Naya, we say we can talk about the Born Chresiad Pekin football gala competition we will kickstart today, all the way Benghazi playing field. And of course, it is also today with me, and we will come talk more on that in terms of preparation and waiting people for expect out of this tournament. Well, with that, I get the pleasure now for introduce me panelists that with me at the studio. Firstly, I go for start with Hilton John, when a renowned sport journalist to do with me now. So today, for can talk on plenty issues them we get for do with the sports developments in Sierra Leone. Hilton, good afternoon and welcome to Liberty Sport.
Yeah, good afternoon, brother. It's really a pleasure to be part of the program.
Right, in Hilton John, of course, like I tell you, like you now sporting journalist, of course, you don't follow sports, you don't hear this very voice, now different sporting platform them, we don't educate people about how, the activities of sports don't go on at the country. And same way so that the studio I also deal with Alhaji Fode Kagbo, we ain't happen for be the Secretary General for Born Christian Picking Organization. Good afternoon, Semil, and welcome to the program.
Yeah, Selector Ed, good afternoon and welcome to every listeners across the country.
All right, saying Alhaji Temil, just don't say greetings. And don't forget, say we will also talk to AKK, where himself now somebody we don't follow sports religiously, and of course, before this term, he don't serve as the PR for the then Premier League board, where we see themselves begets a lot of things that we then do within NTND. Inside for joining at the program, inside will come talk about waiting and think about, the sport developments at the country the whole of 2025. But before that, let's start with Hilton John. Hilton, you don't be around sports for quite some time now. And of course, you don't follow both past and present regime. You don't see plenty of things them we don't unfold within the sporting arena in Sierra Leone. And if we talk about sport development, you get different angles then we will look at. You get the government angle. We also get the sporting discipline and the administration and plenty other things there. But firstly, I want to start on the government angle. From your own perspective, how you assess the government under the leadership of President Bio in terms of supporting sport development in Sierra Leone?
Well, I can tell you, say the honest truth is, sports is developing small. Not on our way out. May you expect 100% in terms of rapid development. If you watch into the previous government, themselves do it able in the tenure of President Bio in the first time. If you go deep into the manifesto of the Sierra Leone People's Party, they told us about infrastructures and other thing them. Unfortunately, we not can't see infrastructure as we were expecting, but we see President Bio government in terms of football, they do well in terms of providing the funds, despite we can see the funds that they can't quick. But at the end of the day, we can see that they get the funds. Though even the funds get that, we can see when the national team get game, the executive director of the NSA and the Minister of Sports, then can go helter-skelter for go find the money, then can even go lent. We are at the Leone Stars as YZ business. They go take money for commission because they want to see the national team play, despite the results. Government pay more attention on football. Some sports and discipline benefit from government, but not on that consistently. Why some sports and discipline who are doing well are not benefiting from the support of government. When you watch like cricket, they are doing better in the country. You watch volleyball, they are doing better in the country. But they get less support from government, despite it was intentional or not intentional. But what government focus on, where in government is getting a scoring card in terms of consistent support in its football. Though you will say, yes, government use football for campaign. Okay. When President Bio was campaigning, he used football, he can recall. He go out to guy, use the ball. He told us that his government will do all what it takes. President Bio be tell us in a only key. He will be lucky for make go Nations Cup, and he is the president who opened the door when we qualified to the Nations Cup. That was a massive support from the government when we qualified to the Nations Cup. That's the honest truth. We see the government, they put money into the Premier League board, despite half money can the balance they come. But government is trying in terms of football, but other sports and disciplines, those that are sober-minded, those that are doing better. Because one of the big challenge I think the government is facing, you may recall what they did. They downsized the sporting association in terms of prioritizing the one the government they give support. You talk about football, cricket, volleyball, basketball, swimming, boxing. These are the sports and discipline we see government they pay attention to, but they are not getting the support. I saw what the president did when he assembled all sports and discipline who did well, who won trophy. They went to State House. He was excited with their performance, their domestic performance, some their international performance. But unfortunately, I was only told that only football got money. That was the female team who received was it $30,000. when the president provided for them. So if the president provided $30,000 for the female team who went to that West African Football Union competition, what about cricket? Who did well? The female team of cricket went to the Northwest African Cricket Tournament. They won the championship. The senior female team also went to another competition in the same year. They won the championship. Cricket are suffering in terms of infrastructure. Local side cricket still they play. Government don't provide the land. Yes, government provided the land, but just giving land they left, and so cricket, the money that they get internationally, and they use for paddling in terms of taking part in international competition consistently, in terms of organizing domestic competition. Everybody say volleyball, they trend. You saw the previous month when volleyball went to that ECOWAS competition. The under 17 team and the under 19 team, they did well. They qualified to a national competition. I think, see, the productive sports and disciplines there should have been a priority for government. If government is putting all the funds into football and these other sports and disciplines are not getting the support, it is very, very challenging. This is the reason why make athletes then go travel, then they run away. Because what you can do, check for the past years, number of athletes who went to international games, they not return again. Some of them today, then you say Papa God thank you. Then 0 don't turn to 2, it don't turn to 4, it don't turn to 5. I don't think government prioritize sports. That's what I've sensed out. Because if government prioritize sports, even the funds allocation, if you watch into the budget when read in Parliament by the Minister of Finance, you will see sport not to get that finance we will see go do for at least do some other development. For the top of stadium, take to the stadium, the other renovation. Also, the better stadium again they use for sporting activity. You go to both stadium is managed. Yes, the management of both stadium, they are trying. Now waiting and get then they deliver. You cannot expect them to go provide facility we don't get. So also that stadium again, we go say you go use, we go better. You talk about Sultan Arena. Sultan Arena is only meant for football. It's a grade B stadium. It's not a grade A stadium. So in other words, we are finding it so very difficult we get at rapid growth in terms of sport, because the infrastructure, the finance, the good organization. When it comes into organization, administration, if you watch, we get as many so-called sports and disciplines. They are only relevant when it is time for elections, like the National Olympic Committee. When they get an election and they tell you go ask, say, is this sports and discipline they exist? Or when it is an international game, when you think about the All African Games, you talk about the Olympic Games, you talk about the Commonwealth Games. Now they tell you about some certain sports and discipline, or they are ghost association. They are existing. You only hear they want travel, they want money. They get a skit writing, they wouldn't scatter on social media. So sports and discipline, they fair money there for travel. At the end of the day, they can command business, sell spaces to people, all down boil with transparency and accountability. Okay. We are in the Ministry of Sports, and the National Sport Authority should get a criteria of those sports and discipline. What NSA is doing in terms of registering sporting association is one aspect. But how effective they are monitoring this association. That's why they are doing what they want. For example, make governments get that system of all association and the data. For example, if you get 10 competitions 2027, make government move from 2025, 2026. So government will say, okay, this is the priority of this sporting association for these events for men and go take part. Low support today. Low we monitor the way they get. But these associations are receiving funds from the International Federation. Ministry of Sport no sabi, NSA no sabi, or maybe if they know, maybe a few people knows about that. So I'm expecting the ministry and the NSA for put stringent measures for our so-called sporting associations. If you have a count association, you count right now more than 50. But if you count the productive one, those that are doing better, it's about 10 or 12, and the percentage is small. So for me, I think the different aspects of sports, you get the good side, okay, you get the bad side. Okay. In terms of government, what I see government is doing, they are not doing much in terms of holistic support to all sporting associations or majority of sporting associations are sober-minded.
Hilton, you touched a very important side. We didn't talk about governments not prioritize all sports and discipline, and they also make mention of other sports and discipline them we don't do well, over time in terms of lawyers they don't bring another country, and they're not so they get that kind of support. But one go say this not only starts inside this current regime, both past and present. We always see they prioritize football. Is it that mostly like the government past and present, they use football for campaign because they see the majority of Sierra Leoneans prioritize football?
Absolutely, you're right. But what I will say, the question is the ministry to the Minister of Sport. There are times you've all say these are politicians. The Minister of Sport, she's a politician. The NSA boss, Dr. Emmanuel Safar Abdullah, is a politician. So there are times you can expect them for exposing government. But as you say earlier on, government is using football to campaign. That is obvious. Past and present government. It is not an hidden secret. But that should not stop government from not giving support to other sports and discipline. I think what Safar and the minister, Thelma, need to do in this 2026, they should have priorities of these sports and discipline who are productive. Swimming, they are doing better. Basketball, then say they go. Basketball then and basketball now, there is huge difference. Basketball now is competing in international competition. Basketball now is winning all it. But they don't have support. Ali Jazz, who is the president, who is doing well with his executive. Swimming, Mediterranean, rest of the Mandan, they do well. Cricket, Trevor, and rest of the executive board members, they are doing well. Basketball and volleyball, we consistently, for the past 5, 8, 7 years, they are consistently taking part in international competition, organizing domestic competition. I watched their national championship they organized at Wilberforce. It was fantastic. I watched the national championship they organized in both the previous year. It was superb. We get all the clubs then from every region. New talents identified. These are the players who are representing the country in international competition now, from the under 17, the under 18, the under 19, the under 20. So what I'm expecting is not only football. If you watch, now they don't bring the effect inside football on the current dispensation of the Football Association. When the president of the Football Association, Babari Kamara, they tell people and say, if NSC no hand over money to them, so alone they play. Well, for me, that was an unfortunate statement. National team is owned by 8 people. Not nobody get national team. National team is not owned by the Sierra Football Association. They are controlling football in the country. But that should not trend in a way we are in. Now, when they say, if we NSA collect Leon Star money, if not hand over Gona directly, Salone they play, it is wrong. So, because you sense out, see, in football, we have the biggest gaps. In football, the resources is abundant. In football, the resources is coming. So that brings in the fight within our football system. But I think the minister, Thelma, and the NSA boss, they should collaborate and see how they can prioritize those productive sports and discipline. They should tell the Ministry of Finance that the Ministry of Finance should support other sporting association. NSA, the last time they talked to the Director of Communication, Eric Fumba, he say NSA can present the budgets through the ministry for make them support other sports and disciplines. When you get to finance will tell you, say, then get priorities. Finance will tell you, say, money no day. So, in other words, you have to see cast the blame on Ministry of Finance, not the NSA, neither the Ministry of Sport, but they are controlling sports in the country. So, in other words, you cannot expect the NSA for can't tell you say the Ministry of Finance not provide the funds for basketball, and they don't provide the funds for volleyball, and they don't provide the funds for swimming, because they don't want to watch their data leanings in the public. They want to cover themselves.
They talk about collaboration between NSC and the Ministry of Sport, where of course then to then they that kind of collaboration for them among them. Yeah. But recently we see a kind of disagreement between them two. Yeah. Whose implication, if you say, that will get to the growth of sport?
Negative. I can say that I follow it from the start onto the bottom, because now the issue there at the bottom. I told them categorically that the minister she's the head of sports in the country. She's the Minister of Sports. NSA is an agency under the Ministry of Sports. The agency, they run the day-to-day affairs of sports in the country, whilst the ministry is the supervising ministry, the policies and other stuff. It was just I'll use the word ego between the minister and the NSA boss. It was Namina the boss.
So that one
And
the boss.
all I can tell you, say between both people, and I can tell you, say it is not an hidden secret. They have a political agenda fighting. That is the honest truth. This beliefs in this is answerable to this beliefs in this is answerable to. The minister was appointed by President Bill. The NSA boss, Dr. Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi, was appointed by the president. What I told them.
When you look at the structure, what if you say for be answerable to?
The NSA for answerable to the ministry.
Okay.
The ministry is a supervising ministry. They run football in the country. NSA is an agency. But it's a bit of differences. Yes, that political ideology. I'm not in this camp. You are not in this camp. You know that the flag there is coming. So everybody get what belong. That's the honest truth. But what the minister did, I was told that they get an in-house meeting. They have buried the hatchet. I saw what they demonstrated at those festivals at the U building when President Bill said whether or not the guy cover shame, but we see that good presentation. Festival. Yes, I saw that good presentation from both the minister and NSA, but that was good. The minister for collaborate with Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi. Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi for collaborate with the minister. If sport is developing in the country, you give the praise to the ministry and the National Sports Authority. Sure. You cannot only give the praise to the Ministry of Sports and then you left the National Sports Authority. The National Sports Authority are running sport the day-to-day affairs. The ministry is supervising. When the minister make mistake, now the responsibility of Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi for go meet the minister, tell and say this and this way you don't do. I think say you make mistake, man, according to the act or according to this, let me correct her. It is the responsibility of the minister. If Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi make mistake or if they go above the board, call Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi. They get a management meeting that they run every week. Tell and say now this and this and this and this for do. But if we see the way how it was not good. The minister said they review the acts. The NSA was not present. The question is, was it the agenda of reviewing the acts? Since then, we see President Bill call them. I think they give them a warning. And since they came back from that meeting, we know you're hearing the drums beating from either side. We see they don't bury the hatchet. There is a unity among the ministry and the NSA. Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi is doing his responsibility. Is the same to the minister. The minister get passion for sport. That is the honest truth. If you watch the minister in background, she came from the athletics angle. She was a treasurer in the athletics executive then. She has the passion for sport. Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi also have the passion for sports. Okay. If you watch Safar in background, he came more from football, from Old Edwardians. Say now he developed in team in a lower football club. To be honest, these people are putting their money in sports. Despite you go say they are getting gains. That is the honest truth. Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi investing in lower football club. The minister would say instead he support the athletics because she came from that background. But if we are getting that political fight, that political banter, it affects the sporting association because a sporting association gets activities when ministry the FET, NSA the FET, would I go supervise the activities? Would I go support the activities? If you watch some sporting associations that they get events, no representation from the ministry in the day, no representation from the NSA in the day, and that is totally wrong. I was disappointed when I went to the volleyball championship finals at Wilberforce. Will not be see that too much representation from the ministry and also the NSA. This is one of our best sporting associations for the past 10 years in the country. Consistently taking part in international competition, qualified to competitions. We see the athletes are getting brighter colors. If these associations and they see that support, that massive support, if they're mobile company there are other parastatals, they give support to some of our sporting associations. I tell you, say forbidden deployable more than as it is now. This is the reason why I told the then minister Ibrahim Yelenke that the basket fund the launch was just a bogus basket fund, because when you watch into the aspect or the main motive of getting a basket fund, I foresee that the sporting associations they not suffer. If you watch how Ghana they do, the coming then get tag debate. For example, we buy fuel at 25,000 units, 500 units or 100 units goes to the basket funds. When basketball want travel, they put them budget, they scrutinize and then take from the basket fund and support them. When cricket want travel, what athletics want travel, what other sporting association want travel, it goes to the basket fund. There is funds always available in the basket for support the association. But what we saw for that launch of the basket fund, where President Bio we put, was it 5 or 10 billion? That money was used for the national team when we went to the Nations Cup in 2021, when we went to Cameroon. Since then, that is the end of basket funds in Sierra Leone. For me, that was a bogus basket funds that were just a flash in a pan, in no dividend. So if this minister, Telma, collaborates with Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi, then he activates the basket funds. Then he give the basket funds live. Then he goes to parliament, it become an act, call the power status them. If you pay 10,000 in tax, we can pay 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. 1,000 and go to support sport in the country. So every power status, for example, Orange, who are doing good. Africell, they are doing good. Other company them, make them take one sporting association. If you watch Africell, they are supporting volleyball. Orange, they support football. We see the other tennis support was it 5 or 6 Premier League clubs. Joansi was one of the beneficiaries. Mighty Blackpool, Diamond Stars. This is good. Give them tax debates and give them responsibility. If you take that step in 5 years, the Usai be left basketball, a different side you can meet them. Usai you left swimming, a different side you can meet them. Usai you left cricket, a different side you can. But you cannot expect these companies are paying huge amounts of taxes, and then they go put back on sport. Some of them they do it normal because of you go say corporate social responsibilities. But in other words, what are they getting back in returns? It is very, very difficult. So I think the ministry, Emmanuel Safar Abdullahi, and the minister, Madam Telma, they should collaborate properly. They should have an agenda. They should have a plan where they go roll out, come to the public and tell you, say, these are the plans for 2026. These are the short-term plan. We are fighting in terms of infrastructure. We saw what the then executive did under Daddy Briber. Infrastructure in terms of football pitches then. One was more football pitches then. One was more recreational facilities. Without getting the recreational facility, it will take we long years for we produce a better athletes where they compete in a higher stage.
All right, continue for the with me. In name now Hilton John. Of course, I got for come back to Hilton. We for can discuss about visibility, because I can remember at one time I be witness Ministry of Information and Civic Education, one of them press briefing them. By then, the Minister of Sports, Madam Augusta James Telma, be did. And journalists then be put forward to the question that why una not they prioritize other sporting discipline. And of course, according to it be saying that because the other sporting discipline they're not visible at all. Then only they show up when they get competition for good. You understand? But we get for come that side, we can discuss more. That's continue for the with me at the program. And of course, today we look at the impact, of sport and the development we happen so far inside sports during 2025, and waiting we expect, foresee we will bring change within the sporting family that the country. And with me at the studio, I also deal with Alhaji Temil. He happen to be the Secretary General for Born Christian Pekin. Alhaji Temil, if you talk about Born Christian Pekin, for somebody we're not the very first time for listening this. When the flyer go out, so man say, man, don't understand. This competition for the Christmas inside Christian. So give me a background, what do people expect?
Born Christian Pekin, like we na the native way born Christian back of mental home. That na the formality we like you say back of mental home. Like we so now proud of him. And then it's how go say, me na Christian come so yeah. So like we always proud of him, and of course talking about the gala or anything concerning the Christian community, I think say the side where if you know when they live the person when they live there, you go there, you see the surrounding, you see the the livelihood, and of course all of the friendliness where they within you said go on for belong. And like born Christian Pekin we decide for come up with time because of like I say, we are the native and Pekin that we go with them born and grow up like Christian. So we're proud of the community and we see how fit sale for the bring kind entertainment and of course some other five development where you go help for push the community go before. And Christian now also name, if you people and they out there where they listen me now, when they say Christian, say a fine community and I will encourage everybody we and they go there for pay visits, see the surrounding and you say we'll find them one thing.
So like this competition, this started the very first time. When are the organizer or we don't the organizer before now?
No, we don't this started at the fourth, that the number 14 this, okay, organize them based on we event we can make we in a street carnival. We can make an net, purely a net. And our previous one they move they make it can be like one knockout. But this time we do home and away basis. And of course, like I said, a net CDB and the place can look so bright, so colorful. So people are really wait for an out. Today, if you be lucky, you come around, you will see say the competition we make yearly for Meetup with Show. It can be very, very, very much more entertaining. So people can really replace the flop, entertainment. Then each and every match you get man of the match certificate to the issue out. And of course, plus small motivation we in an envelope. We put a token for man of the match, and the referee self we can ref the game. Now people we can count to a standard we know for the game or no football. So we can find out say all the game they play well handled because if the referee no handle the game, they make the player and temperament they go up here. Yeah. So can get standard referee they handle the game and put the game to normal level. So most of competition we can play, no misunderstanding, surrounding people themselves can gladly because they keep the area lively. Yeah.
You talk about the matches them get for the play nets. We plenty people go look at and say how this one get for talent because na nets, how people will get that kind, the brightness we required for the people able for watch and enjoy the game well. Even the players themselves will they play at the view. So how can you go about them?
Well, I'm talking about that. The previous competition and can speak for themselves because I'll get some videos, but I'm not able to play it now. But we get then 3,000 watt bulbs, then security lights. Just like about this and small. At 3,000 watt bulb, they put 4. They put them for penetrating the 2 goals. We put them on the other side for penetrating inside the field. And of course, we get them outside for you will go outside for the ball. But like I say, if you not be ever meet up this competition, make them a point of duty. Christian na popular place. Christian, you meet up today at the open ceremony. They start 6 o'clock sharp. They play till 8 o'clock. Then it end.
All right. So who's 2 team then go start today?
Today at the host community, we in First Street. So they play on Donmo FC. First Street they play on Donmo. They play today the open ceremony. And tomorrow fixture now between Upper Looking Town Veteran versus Team Diske. With SF tomorrow, then they start 8 o'clock because like I said, a purely night gala. People can like the phone because after work you can relax small, get time, and of course one for say not for expect to we community superstar una Kemsi Fofana, my brother, and if when he gets sports day we say yes, of course, and of course the song day. We Kemsi Fofana self-invoiced by the song and plus various artists that's be the likes. So the whole initiative for come up with this, I tell you, it gets that kind of momentum where you self go glad for be part of the events, anything we make like the competition, even the show, we get prize we can give for the person who behave the best behavior, the best Chris behavior. So it can be fun. Can be lively and of course entertaining. And once you are for make known and each and every possibility out there they watch me, they get this loud and clear. We program the non-knocking come up with fit because me I kind of friendly person and plus we entire executive if I will get chief way now one of the young boy them now the youngest chief who me don't see. And self now, that I kind leader way talk to you, you could just calm down myself, so we invent the whole can peaceful, and they get situation where in feds go come out, feds and and they happen. So I then encourage everybody, come and can witness Fine Gala today. And the show again February 7 at the same Christian venue. It can be colorful.
All right, continue for David me. A name na Alhaji Furikabu. People can call Alhaji Temil, of course, in at the Secretary General for Born Christian Pekin. And they have to talk about the Gala competition where they start today in the community. We will come back to Ram for talk more on that very competition day. Now I come to you again, Hilton John. I will talk about the minister in statement will be make now one of the government press briefing. They say people can always they blame government saying they know they support other sporting discipline. But the sporting discipline themselves know they make their own sporting discipline visible to people. And government always like for support sporting discipline where at least get the attention of the public. But that sporting discipline they can only the surface when they get international competition for attend.
Well, for me, blame the ministry. Blame the National Sport Authority. Or that they get a license. Or that they register them. If you put criteria for this sporting association, it's not going to be 100%, but at least maybe between the passing age or the middle and passing mark of 50. We get so-called sports and discipline and not get office, and toolbag then get the president and a Juman, the secretary then a serviceman them, and they run sports. But the NSC and the ministry, now they get a license in terms of register. If you have this criteria, we they put together, you say, these sports and discipline ever meet so and so benchmark, I think so they'll get sober. Because we get sports and discipline that we register with the National Sports Authority. We get sports in association when we register with the so-called NOC. They only value them when election comes. If you watch now, go check in the archive of NOC. Almost by the associations and we they organize domestic competitions. Then just they into mafia deal where they get travel, sell space to them. But they are comfortable the way how the sporting associations they run because it suits them. When it is elections, then they tell them, so I can vote for we. All what they want is vote for them, then get power, then run with it and they run. So if the minister is saying that, you point the blame at them. The minister for control NOC. NOC is not bigger than anybody. NOC is under the Ministry of Sports. The Ministry of Sports are the supervisor ministry in terms of sports. The Ministry of Sports forgets a data where NSA go give to them and say, these are the sporting associations. The NOC go give them and say, these are the sporting associations. Let's go into criteria. Let's scrutinize them. You, for example, you get one association and call it snooker or this or that. What's that then? But when they want to travel, they go to ministry. When they want to travel, they go to NSC. When they want to travel, they go to Ministry of Finance. So let the minister, Madam Thelma, collaborate with Emmanuel Safar Abdullah and team. Let's get a benchmark for the sporting association. In 3 years, you forget office. In 3 years, you forget website. In 3 years, we foresee your activity visible. In 1 year, you've organized competitions then. But they are not organizing competitions. When they want to go into competition, for example, and get a mafia deal, 1-2 weeks, then call 4, 5, 6, 7 journalists, you go, you video there, you put them on TV, you write for them. That's all what they enjoy. Give them 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. If you want for grade sporting association, the year comes an end. In those days, we were doing that assessment. When you grade sporting association, begin watch on the activities, begin watch on the administrations, begin watch on the visibility. You need to get 10 or 15 we do better. Out of 56 to get in the country. But they are still existing. Yeah. They are registering to the National Sport Authorities. It's 3 or 4 million. It's not about the 3 or 4 million important. It's about what they are doing. Yeah. Emmanuel Safar Abdullah is going to the to the affair of sports, should always collaborate effectively with the minister. The minister should monitor this sporting association effectively. We get people that work on NSC, we get people that work on Ministry of Sport, we get association. It is totally wrong. What do you expect from them? How me where they monitor, now me back all the association? It is totally wrong. That was what also we saw in football. when the same executive members who are owners of different clubs are the same people who went around to ask relegation for the when your own club relegates, I go agree. That is the honest truth.
Because we see a whole league play, relegation happy.
Absolutely. That is the honest truth. That is the honest truth. These executive members are members to this club. These were the clubs who voted for them. When they want to compensate them, they say relegation or day. Now look the comedy who is going around. Downsize of club in regions. For example, Western area, you get 32 first division team. They don't give instruction on downsizing to 20. So then one day we don't relegate now from Division 1. What side did they go? What Division 2 they play now? So then they wait till next year. That goes back to non-division. Because of what at that time you want to satisfy those who voted for you. It's the same we are seeing in other sporting associations. The Ministry of Sport should control the NOC. The NOC are running sport as if they are untouchable. This allegiance in our world are the same party. I need to sport in the country.
Definitely.
That's it. That's the truth. It doesn't mean that if the president of the NOC belongs to the ruling government, it doesn't mean that whosoever a sporting association president belongs to the ruling government, the minister should be afraid of the right thing, because now holding a one party, now party picking, it is totally wrong. This is the reason why I continue for say this. Sports go continue for control by those in power. When the government didn't have power, now get sports. And it is wrong. When SLPP didn't have power, so who didn't have football, SLPP president. Who didn't have NOC, SLPP member. Who didn't have it is totally wrong. Let's have people who have the passion, who have the zest, who have the belief, who have the know-how, who have the criteria for all these.
So Ilti, they look at and say for any regime, whosoever the head sports in discipline for belong to
absolutely. We see the precedent in the football elections.
So was Thomas Daddy Brahma SLPP?
Absolutely. Daddy Brahma was SLPP.
Okay.
Daddy Brahma.
So same goes.
SLPP.
So same goes to the current president.
Absolutely. Babadi is SLPP. It's not an hidden secret. That is not an hidden secret. Who are blind for no say he's not an SLPP?
One go say football not gets anything for do with politics.
But football gets. We saw it in the elections. We saw the political interference. We saw the misuse of constitution. We saw.
You always frown at that.
Absolutely, FIFA. So that's why if you observe now, if you go to the trend, people who are not happy with the outcome of the election, they are still in cast. Like the former president is in cast. One of the presidential aspirant, then Aminata Bangura, she's in cast. You see how we embarrass ourselves as a country. When you can recall, was it Roddy Michael? When he was disqualified, we saw he went to CAS. CAS clarified him, certified that he should contest. But at the end of the day, decide for step up. The same thing out to Aminata. She was disqualified. Okay. She went to CAS. CAS said no. Wait till now say this and this and this. She's not. No, she's qualified. Goes to the race. At the end of the day, we went to the election. Everybody see it happen. Okay. Beats people and pull and do throw it and they use pauper. Now ESCO member they go use sarcastic statement on people as if they are there for do or that. It is totally wrong. Let we stop that mentality that if, for example, APC win 2028 elections, say the way for they na football for be APC. No. It is wrong. Yeah. If you belong to your party, you are not too active in politics. You have what it takes for run an institution come 2028, APC take governance, whether you're SLPP, I don't care. As long as you're not doing into active politics, you get the spot at art, you get the criteria, you should head there. All right, so but what we are seeing now is politics. So if the ministry, I'm talking direct to the minister, she's a politician. Let the politics. That's for sure. Yeah. The minister, if he ready for work 100%, tell me the work. Tell me she's not too political. Okay. But there are times her hands are tied. Some people then go tell you, say, now we party this. Who that the minister they make? I go learn complain. Say now the first party picking. Right. So how the sporting associations that they develop? How the sport they develop? So if the mentality of some people in position change, I am much believe that give us 3 years. Go to Ghana. Go to Ivory Coast, go to Congo. Some of we don't get the opportunity, we don't go to them country, then we don't see how sport they develop. Look Morocco, look Senegal,
Right.
look Guinea. They are developing.
Yeah.
Look Cameroon, look Liberia.
Hilton, one go say you make a very strong allegation that you know the one day way they add sporting discipline, you get for be politically connected.
Majority.
Do it the football we
Majority.
mentioned Thomas Daddy Brahma and the current president.
Daddy Brahma is an SLPP, Babadi is an SLPP. Who is blind? None will say they are
Alright,
SLPP.
well, we can discuss more on that.
That is obvious.
Quickly, let's just join AKK. AKK do with me now. AKK, good afternoon and welcome to the program Liberty Sports.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mohamed. Good afternoon to the board and and good afternoon to people who are listening and watching.
All right, AKK, of course, we get a conversation at the studio. We dey look at the developments will happen in sports the whole of 2025, and also we feel say we not get a right. We need improvement inside 2026. You know, Youssef don't be around sport for a very long time, and he don't serve now one of the previous administration them during the term of Thomas Daddy Brahma. He be served now the Premier League board as somebody will be the head the communication and marketing wing. Now let me look at the whole of 2025 from your own point of view. Waiting as all the development that we feel say happen inside that particular year, because inside 2025 we get the previous president when Thomas Daddy Brahma is served until June we internal done. Then we also see Babadi Kamara can take up from there, and this we see recently we just celebrate 100 days in office. So give me your assessments about the whole of 2025.
Yeah, I think to start with, I want to say 2025 here we start time for football in a saloon. If we can recall in March, we see Leon start being for beat Guinea-Bissau by 3-1. We also see in May when we release them, they play the Wafu Zone A tournament, they win them. We then even get for beat teams like Mali. Then we see also in another sport in our cricket, we see they introduce the cricket for schools.
Mm-hmm.
We make them take the game to the school, picking them when they do the foundation day. We also see swimming in June. Then play the national, then go through the national championship. We be very good also. We also see in July, we see the basketball under 16 team. They get for going at the Afro basketball finals like Kigali. We then play. We also see in August, we get the transition in football, even though it's still questionable. Then we come into September, we see the basketball again, we get to go to the finals now Rwanda. Then we see the start good well against Guinea-Bissau, we get for we chance. So on a whole, now be an year of waiting, mixed feelings. We started well, but we end bad because after the win against Guinea-Bissau, they get hope in football. Get hope for them to go to this current Nations Cup where they play. We hope we get a chance. At the end of the day, we just lost out on Bambi. And also, we see other sporting disciplines, as I say, we see swimming do well, we see basketball do well, we see volleyball do well. So relatively, sports and saloon get potential, but we not try to utilize them the best way as a country, way for benefit the people them wey dey around sports and the country as a whole.
So what's the problem there?
Now, we see if we compare between the present and the past, some people will comfortably say you see this government don't do well past the previous government. But the question we need for us is this what this government they promise we say that they do. When you look at the manifesto, they make promises as to what them things they want for can do in sport. So which means before they take over power, they already know what have been challenges the way sport gets. And one of them have been infrastructure. Yeah. We all know we refuse to this year again for enjoy the stadium for watch games day. We don't really say anything. It's either at the end of the year or next year. For some of we where they follow sport, we feel say these are the things that will not be the challenge. And you know before you can't sit on it. So I don't think it's not be expected for solve. Now, you ask what I think say the problem. The problem is about even those people where they around sport, majority when they use sports in the right way, they use them with the interest that will help for change the life of young people, or we dey use sports for the right thing wey sports dey for. Wherein we dey use am for carry people dem together, we dey use am for an economic benefit for do it, creating a whole industry for young people dem for let them invest in their life. Majority of the people around sport dey use am for get the kind clout and popularity wey go take them to their political ambition at the end of the day.
Okay.
Because when you look at the challenges that we're going to deal with sabi them. It's up till now when we talk, I listen to what I'm going to talk, we tell you about what happened in football, for example. When we play a whole league, we get a champion, we send the champion to go represent me at the CAF tournament, but we not allow the team to win for relegate because there was a rumor of waiting, they don't promise them, say, if they support the current president, we can win, they will make relegation no big because those teams are teams that will support the president.
That's an allegation,
So
eh?
these are the things. That's why I say there's an allegation.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
We get a system now where the government say they own, as I say, these are issues. The government will not say these are challenges in sport. They can and say we will solve them. These are the same thing that happened with Biden dispensation. Before Biden dispensation to take power, they already we don't know the challenges that are in sport. All of a sudden, you say they give the people and relegate by the top flight. But when you go to the region, you make us in teams that relegate massively. Like what I did mention about 32 teams maybe they exist in Division 1.
Yeah.
Some people that way don't understand the dynamics of sports, they say, but the teams that they go who they put LA. Now, this is the question we need to ask to say. If them things that when people that they put their money, now people that they spend the money for them play, they have to play football.
Yeah.
You don't punish the one who do it your day, but you punish the teams them because they're ready to spend the money for help ball for goal. How you make teams then 11 teams relegate in just 1 month competition. 11 teams relegate na freedom. You now they see FC Johansen when they in a Premier League shortly, they na Division 2. We see correction and see what are prison, team they now Division 2. Communities like Blackwood, where they in Division 1, they Division 2. Because you make 11 teams to relegate in just 1 month tournament when you play. One thing we dey say now about sport generally, we don't get the opportunity maybe for interface now with an organized and professional setting. Sport not to be only seen as something where you just play for get fun. People go beyond that level now.
Okay.
Sport will be seen as a tool for engage young people, as a tool for building the economy, as a tool for carrying people in together, and as a tool for use for make young people and feel belong and for able to use them things that they for use the skills they go before. Which one of that they will achieve differently? We need to make a sport policy on sports financing because we know that sports finance are the problem.
Yeah.
How to finance sports in discipline don't be a problem all these years. Not to play the game will be the problem. Not to the talents will be the problem. But how we can with people and with the right mindset put a constructive document in place, go with an parliament, the cabinet approval, it be a sober document or just go to you get a sports fund or a football fund.
Okay.
Make am a policy. For example, don't see they don't work they invest in football. But are they bound by it or is just out of their own free will? If we don't grab tomorrow and talk, we don't support to football the end. Because football they get the support.
Yeah.
So they need to make a policy in which, if na mining, for example, this is the money they come up from mining. Every year, government they get a turnover of putting how much millions into mining or whatever. This money, out of this percentage, let go to young people. Because when you talk about sport, young people will talk about Maya.
Yeah.
It can go to young people then, where if they put them directly say, if we don't get, for example, $1 million we come into stock every year from different sectors then, we can talk a football, who not take 300. Volleyball, who not take 100,000. This who not take one. So when you spread them all within the sports then, each of them do activities right across the country. You don't get the opportunity for come with them talent in a one center where they organize the national championship and create the opportunity for them the possible where they like Diana, Grandma Mende, and Kenema.
Yeah.
Don't get opportunity for them in picking can play at the center. The possible where they now as far as Kaldankuna in Bira Libachikdom don't get the opportunity for let them play in a Makenu and come at the center. But it's not only football they play right across the country, also the national association. And not tell them. The purpose of the activity is just stop na system. And not because then no one persuade, but they get the resources for one. Then why you go register an aspiration to be a national when you get regional offices?
All right,
You get regional body.
AKK, if I can cue from what you be start with, initially you talk about the transition will happen. You say transition be happen, but it's still questionable. I just want to make a clarification on that. What's the questionable situation?
The reason being that you still get a cash case pending. No, you know, these are the things the way we need for able to manage as a country. And sometimes we don't know to reach this level. We can listen to the president one day, they talk say, nobody will talk to her. Despite we all know say, like how easily we talk at the studio about political interference in the game. And next recently when some of you hear say, Baba they talk say government not give they not give SLF the money, they start now to play. Some of you and say this is the wrong approach because they try to deceive the people of that country. Why I say so? We all see that this drama one day to Congress, where they have to go choose the electoral body, they arrest and go talk on the ACC.
Yeah.
But when the election there, when the election done, that case not come up again.
Yeah.
That case not come up again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead, we see people already where they come out and say, because of this position we are take on this issue, everything can be ending. We get a team owner where we need to get a call from people within governance to tell and say, if we continue in this case, they go back to the ACC.
All right. AKK. Hello.
Yes, man, I get you.
AKK. What do you feel to be the situation where surround Thomas Daddy Brahma indictments na ACC? You know, if you say if that indictment may be genuine or if you get any something beyond that.
This is the problem. It's about football money, and as we speak so now, some of them don't come to the public and tell us instead of people simply Salon money, now Salon government still owe money in hundreds of thousands of dollars. But these people don't understand. Now, like this is an administration. People money, now people know how they audit them. And this person ever gets reason for let people come and say, so we know comfortable with how you use the money. And as I say, now nobody don't be under from August to date, they're not as an essay, they're not ever count any case to Daddy Brahma. For this is how these are the evidences.
Yeah.
And I also tell you say, the way the election rights, how many months we talk about down the line? ACC, you know, when they call that case again.
All right, AKK. If ACC be call Thomas Daddy Brahma or let's say be do some malpractice, you know, where plenty people just they look at and say them be doing because of the SLFE elections will be their own. Now something like that, you understand? Now that the election done done and ACC not call the case back. You know, if you say Thomas Daddy Brahma, if he genuine enough, himself gets right for seek legal redress.
Fine. So now this is the case. We're in the talk at the mention that Diploma is SLPP Babadi is SLPP also. The Diploma is a government contractor, is an SLPP government contractor. We also recently, when the government of Salon, the ACC in a passport, commend them or then congratulate them for a contract they execute for the government of Salon.
Okay.
I'm a broker. Then we see recently again, I want a contract like cinema. So if ACC they investigate somebody who get financial issues, then government they give an accolades of a project the way it complete to a government project system, then they still the award and contract. These are just things the way some people for look at.
AKK, you know if you say Thomas Daddy Brahma gets a responsibility for cleaning it. If the ACC don't go ahead, ain't get right for do the needful. For proving innocency to the general public.
Now, which are you go? At the judiciary of Salon? Judiciary of Salon, one way or the other, is another extension of the government. A go cash will be a ruling for sure say if how then 3 times correct or not. That's why they say they are pending issues. Yeah? The point that some of you they make is this. Sports get the power beyond politics, beyond tribe, and beyond religion. So we need to harness them potentials there so and start to treat sport as sport, not as a political tool for favor a particular individual. When we are today, I get a scholarship from the English Football Association for studying in level 1 coaching course.
All right.
As a football coach. I not be need for no even who are the FA president in England. I not be even need for no who are the county chairman na the Manchester County who say I belong.
Okay.
Then work the profile and say this person they come out from the minority group and the black group. Get passion for football and experience in football, we award them a scholarship where in 2 weeks' time and they be a qualified coach at the UK.
All right. Okay.
So that's the reason why people do me work as an independent person because I know I not be dependent on nobody for reach this level.
All right, Sam. AKK. All right. As time on the bet we na the program. Now we don't look at some of the challenges or mistakes them who feel say yes they happen within the sports that the country. Now we're into 2026. Whose solution, whose recommendation you go prefer to people them way then at the end of affairs where they want sport na the country?
First thing first, they need to get a genuine discussion as to how to solve the problem of sport. When you get funding. Try to design a policy as to how government or able help the private sector to invest in sports. How do they do that? Call all the people who are investors in sport into a platform that they see how companies they participate in sport outside of the salon. For example, one expert now one of the sponsors of the CAF AFCON right now. But then they salon, why they not coming to salon? Let me know. What are the challenges the way they invest? The same to Afritel and Orange. What are they good? Yes, it's good for salon, but they can do better than that. We need to know why. Is it that they don't get the visibility with them? Is it that the infrastructure not there? We don't get part of the negotiation with Afritel, for example, to negotiate for the Premier League. I think that we get stuck after when we pull the Davis National Stadium because they don't get the kind of visibility where we look out for and they say in our Sugar Stadium on our parade field. So we need to get a genuine discussion around how we can do sport funding. Two, we need to harness people and potential beyond individual support and politics.
Okay.
The board that was going to today, for example, in Hilton, it gets in own period to offer in sport. You don't need to look at Hilton and say you support this or this. If elections are over, they are over. If you get the potential for you to help move sport, like for example, when there is young man they call Anami Crash Contest, for example, nobody knows the potential to identify talent as alone. So whether he supports the current president or not, in potential to identify young people and will get football talent, encourage them. So it not hit you, it just be like you don't proceed on that particular moment they think this person better off than you. If in salon they say when this person win power, all my way not support them for go and a new people will come in. If they potential talent will not come around at all when you get power, and they get talent brain. We are in more talent than the left because we get power and we get knowledge gap. So we just go in and out and get scrap text around those to do things.
Okay. All right.
So what they look at, they look at the talent and tell them based on waiting you can able to offer to society, not necessarily whether you support or whether you don't support.
Okay.
So we can look at them things today. We get more like, for example, more like Kamara when based by UK. When the national scout student that even have been appointed. That man they connect Sierra players when young players them for come na salon. That is they need them input. You don't need to let them. You don't need to support either. You just need to make sure so that people when they come and tell you which one they get wrong, which one we can able to do things to get right.
Okay. Thank you very much, AKK, for joining the program. We hope to get you now with subsequent edition them of the program Liberty Sports. Of course, in AKK. Somebody done there around, Sierra Leone football for very, very long time. And self-dom, give me, waiting, think about the whole of 2025, some of the activities that will happen in sports. And also, if you still get along, we need for improve, inside this very year with the 2026. I want to come to you back, Hilton John. Of course, you're there from AKK. Now we try for round up now. You self-dom, elaborate more on some of the things that we feel say, we don't be do well the whole of last year, 2025, ranging from the governments, come to people and where they head them, sporting discipline them, now we're into 2026. Whose recommendation you go and make to people where they administrate sports in the country so that we will forget transformation as how we want for Siam?
The first thing is unity. The second one is patriotism. If we have that unity among ourselves, we are patriots. As you listen to it in AKK talk. No, say they pull me pan football, they cannot support you for a self-election. You don't have what it takes for taking out of football. If I'm not competent for serve as a match commentator or match announcer in the league, don't put me there. I'm not competent. Now point people then are you executive or now you office now because you say that the media you 100% and they are not competent. No go pull person like how we see the rapid sack na SLFE. Sack people and because you say no be support me. For example, a mention Alimami Koash Conte, who was doing well in terms of coordinating youth football in the country. We saw under 17 the stage where they go youth team under 20. For the first time, Salongo Nations Cup under 20 who went to the quarterfinals. And because of the coordination from the coordinators, coordinating young players from lower cadres, you can agree to me, say from thy kingdom come, what they call home base player. Now the same player there for the past 10 years. Yeah. Our players are we players their age, Bokudo Olo. That is the reason why we could go to a CHAN competition. And they beat we when they do it because we are recycling the players. But we see that our mentality change. Coach ML did well with the U20 for the first time in the history of Sierra Leone. Yeah. Went to Nations Cup, we are knocked out in the quarterfinal because of an inexperience that caused. Was it against Egypt, a big nation, well-developed nation of Morocco, we pass sweeper all thing in terms of football. Let we leave the mentality say because you know the APC not for Wokia or you know the SLPP not for Wokia. It is wrong. This is what we are seeing now in the various offices or in the various administrations, whether they run sports in the country. The last time I provoke somebody say, you never go change your APC card to SLPP for making your work. It is totally wrong. Let the Minister of Sport, Madam Augusta Telma, collaborate with Emmanuel Safa Abdullahi. Make them develop sports. They are not developing the Sierra Leone People's Party who appointed them, but they are developing sports. Make the so-called NOC collaborate with the ministry, collaborate with the NSC. If the so-called NOC, they are not collaborating with the pillars responsible for sports, then go they drive on how they feel at the road. The job feels like they are comfortable, nobody no check them, there is no check and balance. Transparency, accountability. That should be demonstrated. The government for prioritize sporting associations, legacy criteria through the Ministry of Sports for sporting associations in the 2026. The sporting associations where they do well, and no one know whether the one where they run them, then are SLPP or then are APC, support them. If volleyball is doing well, whether Ahmed Kanu serve as a former minister under the then government is APC, that is not your business. If the chairman of cricket is an APC member, that is not your business. Give support. You are not supporting the chairman directly. You are not supporting Ahmed Kanu directly. You are supporting volleyball. The components of volleyball are youth people. These are create for job opportunities. If these athletes are engaged, say for example, I want to be in the Olympics. And they train for Congo Olympic. That athlete now work you don't create for them. The Premier League they play when sponsor gives support, not to one player that they go give sponsorship, then give sponsorship to the board. The board they can in returns can give to the club there. The club then in returns they go to them players them. Them players they are no one know whether they are APC, SLPP, they are playing football. All what they are doing is exhibiting their talent. Let the Ministry of Sports collaborate with different agencies, parastatals for effort develop sports. Make the ministry seen as a proactive ministry. Make the NSA seen as a proactive NSA. Make the NOC seen as a proactive NOC. You go see NOC go get program. Now 3 people among the normal then go post news. Now the normal the one round it. You go see NOC get activity. Nobody not care about waiting they gone. All what you see, they present it. Let there be transparency. If people are campaigning during their election period, that my executive will be transparent and accountable, can relate to the people of Sierra Leone. Yeah. No make a no more to una de kuku jumuku. No go appoint that post when a square peg in around all we no sabi nothing. As what now we are seeing in the appointments of football. There are people who are getting appointment at SLFA. They not sabi nothing. Don't let that mentality there. I can go pull Mr. Kamara. I can go pull this now in position because nobody supports me.
How wouldn't it be? You know, for like SLFA, they appoint people we know nothing.
Yeah, but you know they follow the trend. If you have an appointment now, for example, as finance director at SLFA, I'm not competent. You go take me to the media department.
So
you go
people anyway they appoint at the FA.
there are many. The lists are coming out. We are scrutinizing them. We start to call names. If you ever appoint somebody on female football, for example, check in background. He or she now be administrator on any female club. For example, I've been with the Sierra Leone Police for over 13 years now, running to 14 years. You go tell me say I don't know about grassroots football. I've been a commentator of over 23 years. You go say I know sabi about grassroots football. Non-active commentator in this country where sabi saloon player reach me. Not so magical because I go through the ranks. I go now all them feel then 10, 14, 15 years back. I follow the development of players. So if he says, for example, Sierra Leone they play, Leon Star they play, I go tell you offered but certain player they profile because I follow the trend. How you go can put me as engineer and a liberty women to engineer? You say because we bobo. You go get good production on your show? The answer is no. Don't compensate people at the Sierra Leone Football Association because they be the cost for you. Because they bear you. Because they are not competent. When you get certain people with their points, for me, I will say kudos. But don't continue to appoint stewards. They are stewards. They are backbenchers. Because they be the cost for we, so we go put them by female. It is totally wrong.
So that situation they happen.
Absolutely. Some people appointed at the Sierra Leone Football Association are not competent. They we are the same people then. Where they say this not qualify, this not get this. Now waiting men get when I can't tell we. Was this job advertised? The answer is no. You get certain positions and you advertise certain job then. Because you don't know from the one them from the public. There are times even with the journalists who feels like all what we are saying.
Hilton, at least for let the public able to understand. We don't say there are some jobs and the way you need for publish advertisements.
That's for
we want people away for we get interest for apply.
Yeah.
Then from being on as scrutinize and or pick the best person. You understand?
Yeah.
Whose job or whose particular role or responsibility they will not issue out to people when they not advertise, when they supposed to advertise. Then secondly, when they put people in the way if it's not supposed for the day.
But I can say you get some.
At least let the public able
for example, the technical department.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to John Kista, he did well, or the national team qualifies Sierra Leone to the Nations Cup. He don't go through the ranks in terms of coaching. If even it's an Kista now get the job, not advertise them for me. Technical director is a criteria job. So job where they say don't know call you can't be technical director. Advertise the job. The head of female football, I'm coming. Kista may be competent. Okay. Don't take it from him. Again, good side, again, bad side. But he may be competent. Head of female football. You don't need a joker. You don't need a sing praiser. Get post so you don't get the background of female football. Be a member of a team. Serve in different capacity. Go into the level of national teams. For example, say what you mean. Madam Ramke, when I head of female football and SLFA as a rep in the ESCO member, you go say she's doing well. He gave him a team.
Yeah, of course.
He don't depend on female football. He buy player there. He spending money on female football. Musu Pele, if you get a position at SLFA, everybody goes, hey, I play football. Now be footballer, female footballer. Now she was the head of Lioness. You can recall that. You get Barbie. You get the names there. You get Victoria Conte. They not play ball. Victoria was the first female coach in a Premier League. Yeah. So if you take Victoria Conte in a technical committee, or you take her in a female football head or deputy or this or that, they will say, no, if the coach, you get the experience. But you're appointing people with no background, with no A, no B, no Z, no Z. Because they cost for you on social media. Right. That's what the football for there now.
All right. I think we go.
When yesterday you will tell this man say he's not competent, ask her the question, say tomorrow, if they give the position, are you competent? This is what now we are seeing.
Right.
Don't appoint people because for during SLFA election. If you want to assess the female department now of SLFA, what you point finger at? You know they point nothing. We are the seminars. League start the old seminar for players. There are times, the Premier League board in England, you can see where they want to change rules. They get a whole session of time where they're going to engage managers, secretaries, this, that. So, if, wait, I mean, they read something the other day when I get educated of. Was he cooking a red card? Everybody knows, say, initially when you got the red card, you stay for 3 games. Yeah. You read now that they say, well, 1 game, because one, the gravity of the offense, how it was done, you go for 1 game because of so. So you will run. But when it comes to our film, all we enjoy is female league is playing, we team go represent what the players are benefiting from the league outside the field. Kista now don't introduce licensing coaches. It is good. They go point finger say, as I come in 3 months or 2 months or 1 month, I can't organize cause. What are we getting in the female department? It is totally wrong. Let's appoint people in positions. It is very easy in politics. I have who I'm supporting in national politics. For example, JFK become the president of Sierra Leone in 2028. It will not make me the Minister of Finance. I'm not competent. I am not competent to be the Minister of Finance. I'm not competent to be the Speaker of the House. I'm not competent in certain other positions. And I'm a sportsman. Okay, look, I'll go sport. The day you get appointments for me for sport, that might be the comment. You understand? These are the things.
So meaning if one day we wake, we are even say, Hilton are the new sports minister.
You go say,
people are surprised.
Thank you, because you go through the ranks.
All right.
But we are getting some jokers into position where for me,
right.
It is totally wrong. If we want sport for develop, the interference in politics, it is too much in sports in our country.
Okay.
We should stop it. We should put people in the right position. We're going to be productive tomorrow.
All right, thank you so very much. My name is Hilton John. Of course, you've been on with me throughout. You don't give me a own take, on how football and sports in general don't unfold in the country the whole of 2025. Waiting as one of the things that we feel say we need for improve on, and also I feel say we get them right. And of course, you also don't give recommendations them with people and with the administrate sports. And of course, I want to state this very clear. We not only limit the discussion to one particular sporting discipline, but we ensure say we expand them to all sporting discipline cut across the country. Sporting discipline, they will know see get that kind of visibility. We get people and we they follow them particular sporting discipline. We always on the organized competition at the same time, though they bring law and Canada the country. Well, of course, we get for the bring them in, and as well we go try for see how best to go dig deep into them some of the allegations them we make on issues them where they go on within the sporting sector. Now come to Alhaji Temi. Now we round up the program. People will get for one for go for watch, then there's very competition where they carry on. They get any amount of money they get for pay or they get for be free of cost, and waiting will be the expectation of the winner at the end of the day.
Not free, of course, not free of charge, because we need a bag, but the place you get pavilion, so you sit them up, convenience, the people, the feel inside, so you just stand up, you watch, you feel free of charge, and the one that we can win the trophy at the end of the day, we can get them token, and this time we want to try for see how best to come with some other things some way could be memorable to them. Maybe like if you go make we get the sponsor like award, we then say we get and all of that. So I want to encourage everybody where they around the axis. So if you're far, you're not Christian breed, you be done born and live in a Christian. Come and can be part of the greatness and see how best we said it's here for push entertainment and development. Now the part of that part of the country when a Christian back of mental home.
All right, thank you very much. Your name is Alhaji Temi, of course, in the Secretary General for Born Christian Picking Organization. And we don't tell we a lot about them gala competition where they start today. And this girl for do it for bring the youths them together and also preach peace among the youths them at the community. We'll also get time for hopefully in a subsequent program we'll ensure so we'll check the inbox and read out some of the messages them. But because of time not in our favor, I think we will so today. On behalf of the producer and me, we bring to you this edition of the program, and as well as the people who will give you technical support, Musa Saukuma and the rest of the other one, them at the technical department. I want for wishing all a sporting day. Goodbye.